you. I would watch the days go by, wasted in blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for love.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here. I hope you are too. Hello, Cindy. It's great to see you. I see that you're here and excited to be with us also. So let me quick introduce myself first. I will be one of your co-hostesses tonight. My name is Stephanie Richter, and I live in the Seattle area, just north of Seattle, Washington, in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. I have been with Mary Kay for 34 years, so been in this beauty industry for a while, actually, coming up close to 35 years. And I'm so grateful for all that I've got to learn, and I'm so excited to be able to share that with you tonight as we are doing our Gorgeous Eyes Simplified workshop. Let me introduce to you who I get to share with tonight, who's going to be demoing with us, teaching with us, and co-hosting with me. This is my awesome friend, Michaela Scheel. Michaela, I'm going to let you introduce yourself in just a second because she's going to be helping us walk through the demos. And the two beauties that you see, now I know they might be going, okay, here we are. We have one eye done. But Linny Brown is from Whidbey Island. So she's north of me, the beautiful, if you haven't heard of Whidbey Island, it's in the Pacific Northwest. It's gorgeous. And then the awesome Diane Hicks is down in Idaho. So she is in the high desert. So we got everybody here, you guys. And I'll let them introduce themselves a little bit as we go here. But first of all, I just want to say that our agenda tonight, our heart is to bring to you something that you're going to be able to use in your real life. So let me just ask you, if you're watching this right now, and even if you're watching on the replay, put this in your chat. We want to know, one, where you're from and who your consultant is, who invited you. We want to know what part of the country you're in. And then I want to ask you this question. Have you ever found yourself getting ready, or you'll have a special event, and it could be anything. It could be something for your kids' school. It could be an auction. Those are all coming up. It could be a special event at your work, at your office. It could be something on a Zoom. It could be something that is a special event that is coming up that we're all going to be hitting here very soon with the holidays. I know I'm not so sure. I want to talk about the holidays in September because I am a summer girl. So I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it, but I know that we need to. So if you have found yourself prepping for that, and then you're like, you got an hour, 2 hours, whatever, you're getting ready. Maybe you have a new outfit you're going to be wearing. You got something you want to really look special. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try out a new eye look. It's like an hour or two before you're going to leave to this event. So let me just encourage you not to do that. Let's get it done today. Let's teach you all you need to know so that when the time comes, you've had time to practice, you're confident, you're like, I got this. I just need a little time to get this thing done because I practice. I know what colors, I know what outfit I'm going to wear and what colors I'm going to put together. And we have something super special we're going to share with you that we're going to bring even more that Michaela will share with you in just a little bit. So give me a shout out if you found yourself there. Like, okay, I'm going to try this purple shadow. Or I'm going to try something. I'm going to try a smoky eye. I've never done a smoky eye, but I've seen it done. I'm going to look awesome tonight. And maybe it didn't work out so well and you're frustrated. So here's what we want. We want you to walk into whatever situation you're in knowing I look slamming, because I know that when I'm bringing my best face forward, so to speak, I know that that builds my confidence. Like I know that I'm going into something that maybe I don't know a lot of people. I know that that makes a difference for me. And we want that for you to build that confidence. So that's what we're here to do tonight, is to have some fun. So I see that we've been, I love it. Some people looking forward to it. Hello, my friends. I see a couple of my friends in here, Judy and Christine. I love it. 2 Christines. My 2 Christines are in here. Hi, Katie. It's so great to have you guys. So excited. And very bright. Thank you. All right. So tell us where you're from if you haven't already. We got some from all over. We got people from all over, Michaela. I'm really excited about this. So y'all ready? Let's do this. Let's real quick. Diane, why don't you just really fast share what would you say is your favorite thing to do to set yourself apart when you have a special event? I didn't tell her I was going to ask this.
No. Well, I love the eyes and I love playing with eyes. So I will always do some black in the lashes. We'll talk about that tonight. But then I do fun color over the top of that black. I'm not afraid to use sparkle, so it pops. But I also try to make sure that it doesn't take away from my eye color, but it just brings people's eyes to your eyes instead of other.
And you have such beautiful eyes, right? Doesn't she have the most beautiful eyes? So she's going to be doing some color tonight, you guys. So she's going to be teaching us how to bring in that real pop of color. So thank you for letting me put you on the spot. Lenny, I want to hear from you. What is the thing that you do? Like I know that you do a really special event with your husband every year, don't you? Do like an officer something? You guys get all dressed up and your husband's all like snazzy looking.
We used to go to the Marine Corps ball, but yes, it's been a few years, but so we would get all dressed up. And I think on a daily basis, I don't wear a lot of eye makeup. So just doing a full 3 shadows and the liner with the mascara, which I normally don't do, doing the whole full meal deal. And then a fun lip is always kind of what I do for special events.
That sets you apart. That sets you apart for sure. And I hear that a lot, you guys. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this event is I hear that a lot is from my clients over the years. And I bet you guys do too, that it's like, I want to look special, not just the same way I look every day, which is great, right? But I just want to jazz it up when I have some sort of special event. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Let me introduce you to my co-hostess tonight, Michaela Scheel. So Michaela, take it away. All right, I got you, friend. You're muted. You muted yourself because you're so good at this.
I muted myself. I was sipping my coffee. Okay, we're gonna have so much fun tonight. And believe it or not, you might not know this if you see me in the daylight, but figuring out a great eye look is one of my favorite things to do because it's so simple. I think we get it in our heads that it has to be some big thing, but we're gonna give you some really simple tips that when you practice them and nail them, they're gonna take you to that next level. And so we're gonna talk a lot about Mary Kay tonight. You might already have felt that or know that, but that's just because it's our favorite products, right? I know these gals on here will go on and on about it, but we all have our favorites. So whatever your favorites are, whether they're Mary Kay or something in your bathroom, we want you to practice and try these things. And if you want to get some new favorites, then at the end we'll have deals for you. But that's what you'll be seeing us wearing tonight. So we're going to start at the beginning, the very best place to start. And we're going to start with priming our eyes. Now, Stephanie went ahead and gave us a behind the scenes look.
I was so brave, you guys. I was being brave here. Very brave.
I love it. So we're going to watch a quick video on what it looks like to prep your eyes, because preparation is 9/10 of the battle when it comes to makeup.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought I'd just show you really quick how I prep my eyes for getting my eye color on. See how discolored my eyes are. So this is our concealer. I have on the deep ivory this time of year. That's my summer color. So I just tap a little bit, and then I like to use our cream color brush. So a brush that is is not real tends to work better. So synthetic brushes tend to work a little better with cream types of products. So Just blend that right in. And then what I'm going to come back with, you can always use an eye primer if you have one, or if you want to come, I'm going to come back in here with a little bit of translucent powder. So see how that takes away that discoloration, that redness. Some people have blue, some people have brown. So just bringing it as close to your natural eye color as possible. You can see that on me. And then I'll dust that with a little bit of translucent powder to set it. So then I'm putting a powder product on a powder product. Now, if I'm going to be using a liquid shadow, then I don't need to do the powder. But if you're going to put powder on, a powder color, then you always want to put, if you're going to do concealer, do liquid, then do powder on colored powder. Got it? Or if you're going to do liquid, do a liquid concealer, then you would do liquid eye color and then let that dry. And then you can always do a color of shadow over the top of that. Confused myself at the end. Could you tell? I was like, which one comes first? Can anybody relate to that? Like, which one comes first? Sometimes that's the situation. Like, that's one of the things that we want to talk about tonight. So what we're going to talk about next, I think, Michaela, you're going to bring in some, we're going to talk about, not after prepping your eye, we're going to talk about liquid shadows. Now, I've had a lot of people on my Facebook page and in my Facebook group, and even a couple of people messaged me back and said, I want to learn about liquid eye colors. What's the thing about liquid eye colors? So let's go for it.
Yes. So I'm going to bring my my beautiful demo ladies on. So you'll see them applying the liquid eyeshadow as I'm chatting away here. But who's going to love liquid eyeshadow? Like, who is this for? So first, I think of like really busy women. So like moms, people that are getting up early, getting their makeup done before the wee hours of the morning. Whatever it is where you're just needing to get it done, you're going to love a liquid eyeshadow because not only is it super quick to put on, but it's going to look great too because they blend so easily. And you'll see that as Diane and Linny start to put this on. And here's the other thing is that it's great for those that have sensitive eyes, or I wear contact lenses because there's no shadow fallout. There's no powder. And so when I put it on in the morning, I don't have to worry about it like getting in my eyes. At night, I don't have to worry about like touching it just right so I don't get makeup on my eyes. It goes on smoothly and then stays in place. So Linny, which liquid eyeshadow are you using?
I am using the Pink Starlight, which is a tiny bit of like a rose gold color. It's a little more than a nude, but not bright, bright pink. And it does have a shimmer to it. So it's got a little bit of just kind of highlighting. You can see as I move, it kind of brightens the eyelids, which I love. This is a great go-to color for every day. And to be honest, it's my favorite one. So a lot of days, this is my one and done. I just throw it in there and then do my eyeliner and I'm out the door.
I love it. All right. What about you, Diane? Which one did you use? Oh, you're muted, friend. Sorry. I tried to unmute you.
I am using the Sand Dune because it is a matte, and it's really a great one for, I don't know if you can see there, but for just kind of evening out your skin tone like Stephanie was talking about. It's just a really good base, gives you an overall nice creamy finish to your eyes, and then you can lay any fun color over the top of it.
Yes. So they both talked about one from each, or one from each of our collections. So we've got our regular incline collection, and these are shimmery. They're inspired by the stellar, sky. And so whether you're looking to add a highlight or you're looking to deepen and take your look, to that more smoky, intense side of things, there's colors for both. And then what's exciting is our fall collection just dropped. Now these are limited edition, so we don't know when these are going to be gone, but it will be soon because they are incredible. These ones are matte, and so they're going to go on smoothly. And then as they set, they're going to go to that nice matte finish, which is super in right now. So you can mix and match, you can play with these liquid eyeshadows, but they just blend so beautifully. So these are great for, when you're wanting a quick look, that everyday look, when you don't want to look like you just rolled out of bed as you drop the kids off at school. But now we're kind of like, let's say, phasing into the evening, and we've got our PTA meeting or we're going on a date. We just want to step it up a little bit. And that's where our powder eyeshadows can take your look to the next level. So I'm going to throw it over to Stephanie, and she's going to talk to you about how to deepen your look and make it even just that, like, next look, that next step. So Steph, why don't you tell us about the powder shadows?
All right. Well, here's the deal, you guys. This is where technique comes in, and this is where your beauty consultant is a huge help, because we have the tools to be able to equip you. How many of you, answer me in the comments, how many of you have said, where do I put my color? I get asked a lot about what colors I can wear, and we're going to talk about that towards the end here. But I also get asked a lot about what's with my eye shape. Where do I place these colors? What colors do I use shimmers? Do I not use shimmers? And my age, what's right for my age. I'm of a more interesting age. In fact, I hit a very interesting age in just a couple of weeks. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. But I'm like, okay, there's things that I won't or can't really wear anymore that I used to wear when I was 40 and in my 50s. So now that's going to be changing, and I've noticed there's changes. Anybody relate? There's changes to our eyes as we become that more interesting age. But those of you that are in your 20s, 30s, and probably some in your 40s too, there's so many options, isn't there? And there is specifics. And so I'm going to have Diane and Lenny pop up back on here, and they both have very different eye shapes. I was really excited when they said, sure, I'll demo. And because first, they're gorgeous. Second, they have very different eye shapes and really different styles. You heard Lenny talk about, I really don't wear much makeup during the day, very involved with her kids, her elementary school aged kids, super involved with PTA in 2 different schools. Is that right, Lenny? Yes. So she's like got her hands in the stuff happening. Diane is in a different season of life. She has college age girls, and she loves color. She has a husband who is an artist. Diana is also very creative. So color is a big deal. And so both of them have these really different styles and different eye shapes. So here's what I'd love for you guys to do. What I want to have you, as those of you watching, take advantage of your Mary Kay Beauty consultant. Reach out to her and ask her, show me this guide, Stephanie, that you're talking about, because eye shape matters. And so as we walk through this, the gals are going to be going through what colors or what techniques, what application techniques they're going to be using based on their eye shape. And Diane, I believe, what did you say, Diane? That you have more of a down-turned eye and a hooded eye. Yes. And then Lenny, what did you say you have?
Hooded, almost like a single or monolid.
Yeah, right. A monolid.
And that's where your crease is just very minimal. It's almost like one flat lid. And I would say also sort of almond, because I have a pretty big eye for Asian eyes. It's not as
Pacific Islander, Lenny. Pacific Islander.
I know. Pacific Islander eyes.
He teases me about that. And I'm like, I'm like, if I was Pacific Islander, I'd be like telling everybody, just so you know, I'm Pacific Islander, because I want to go there all the time. Like, I want to go with you. So the eye shape matters. So take a peek, you guys. I just want you to look at this eyeshadow application tips. These are tips. Now, if you've looked at any magazines, you've followed any trends, honestly, anything goes right out there. But if you really are, okay, Stephanie, I'm not 25 and I can't just do whatever and get away with it, or that's not your style. This is a really great guide for you to follow, because here's the deal. If you guys look at this, there's 3 different shades that are taught or featured on this in this guide. And you can see that there's light, medium, dark, just to simplify, light, medium, dark. So y'all think about, when we all took art classes in our elementary school, or maybe it was junior high, where we really learned about lights and darks. When you have something light on your face, it pops off your face. When there's something deep, it pushes it back. So think about where those colors would go then based on your eye shape. So you can see, for example, on here, that wide set eye that's right there in the middle, that mid-tone color is across that lid. Then there is that darker shade in that crease, and then the lighter up towards the top. So you can see that bringing that darker shade towards the middle of that eye, then or that mid-tone, excuse me, in that middle of that eye, towards that inside of that eye, pulls that in, right? That's pulling the eyes in from being a wide set eye. Does that make sense? So pay attention. So I'm going to have Linny and Diane pop up here. And real quick, why don't we start with Linny? Linny, what shades are you using? And
So
then tell where you're going to place them. And then I'll talk about
Merlot. Merlot is going to go, as you can see on this eye that's already done, it's going to go right on this outer corner and kind of in, I like to call it like a rainbow. And so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that and put it on the outer corner here. And the first
you guys
place
see why she's doing this. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
why she's doing this is to create that crease, right? So she talked about that having more of a flatter eye. So do you see how that creates, it pushes back, and there you're creating that crease. That's so pretty, Linny. And what brush are you using there, Linny? Is that the all over powder brush?
It is actually a eye crease brush, but I think it was our previous crease brush.
It's just it has a silver end, but it's the same shape.
Yes.
So it's a little bit of an angle. So brushes matter with the application of your product. So again, she's adding that color in that crease, or in that really kind of at the shape of your eye, right? You're following the shape of your eye. So you're giving it a shape. You're accentuating the shape of your eye, not trying to change it 100%, but causing it to be pushed back a little bit. So then your actual eye pops out.
And it's almost like I'm creating a crease because I don't have a very prominent crease. And so I have to kind of go a little bit higher than most people with a really good defined crease. And so I always tell people, if you have a hooded eye or like a single lid eye, you really have to go almost uncomfortably higher to see that part of it. So yes.
When we were getting ready for this, you guys, Linny pulled out her brush, and because she looked at, we were all like, okay, how do we look with our lighting? So we want to make sure you can all see us well, right? And she's like, oh, I need to do a little bit higher. And she pulled out her color and took it up just even a little bit higher up there, up on that bone, because here's what happens. If you guys noticed, as soon as she put that darker shade on that bone here, it pushed that back. And otherwise this pops off of her face, and it catches all the attention versus her eye, right? Yes. And can also make this look puffy. So you want to be careful with that to not cause that puffiness. Love it. All right, Diane. So more of a downturned eye and a hooded eye. Yeah. So walk us through what you're going to do.
So mine are very puffy hooded eyes. So when I don't create my crease, because I have a lot of puff right in here.
Yeah, look straight at us for a second, Diane. Look straight at us. And so because you can see, I'm so glad you said that, because you have that light shade on, you guys see how that the brow, this part right here, that's where also those of us of a more interesting age, that's where gravity starts to pull this down also. So if this is pulling down, then what are you going to need to put here? Something dark or something mid-tone, right? So you can see how it's puffier on that side than the other side. So yeah, show us what you're going to do there, Diane.
Right. So I have Dusty Rose and a little bit of golden mauve mixed in, because I'm just doing, the simple look. But so I'm just, again, taking my crease brush and, like Lenny said, going much higher than you feel comfortable. I usually use a little bit into my corner, my crease there.
Yeah, that gives a little bit of a
it defines my eye a little bit.
So
And
if she's following the natural curvature of her eye, it's going to push that back. Look at that lift. Look up at your mirror for a sec. I mean, at your camera. Yeah, there you go. Look at the difference, you guys. Look at the lift on that side that she just added before it was puffy and light. So yeah, super cool. I love Dusty Rose too. I actually have Dusty
Yes.
Rose on too. It's a
Yes.
really nice shade for blue-eyed girls. Yeah, really pretty. All right, let's see. Any other little tips that you guys want to add before we move on to liner?
No.
I'll share one quick thing that is not something that you're seeing here, but something you can ask your consultant about. You saw those beautiful liquid liners that are our regular line. There's two colors in there that are deeper, kind of deep to mid-tone, depending on your skin tone. One's called Purple Nova, and one is called I just forgot, Meteor Shower. Yeah, those. So see those two? Purple Nova is not a bright purple, though it is purple. Meteor Shower is a very neutral. You guys, those two on a lid, talk to your consultant about it, on a lid up into the crease and up where you saw Diane, depending on your eye shape, then with that, with a similar tone matte powder color in the crease, makes a beautiful smoky eye. A similar color just to give that crease a little bit of definition. But those two, if you're looking for something that is like, I want to have a smoky look, we decided not to show a smoky eye because honestly, smoky eyes are very easy to create. It's harder to create more shape, but talk to your consultant about that and she can help you with that. So those are two of my favorites with the liquid eye colors. I just had lots of people ask about liquid eye colors, so I wanted to make sure that I talked about that. A couple of things I want to just mention about tips for applying. Blending, but not over blending. You saw both the gals, both Lenny and Diane, when they placed their product on there, they weren't going la 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 da 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 da. And because what happens is sometimes when people over blend, you muddy it all together. Then you just have color all together. So don't worry, don't have too much. Well, let me just say it this way. You're going to have a little bit of line of demarcation. You can see where I have a little bit of line of demarcation where my color is darker. It's darker and lighter, lighter, lighter. And so I blended on the line. I didn't blend like all around because that muddies it up. So blend the line of color and that softens where the line starts and stops. Excuse me. So quick little tip there. Also, when you're applying your color, you notice when they were applying their color, their eyes were open. They had their eyes open. They weren't doing like this and they weren't doing this and they weren't pulling their eye into different shapes, because if you do that, where you place that color and then you let go is not going to be where you think it's going to land. So make sure you keep your eyes open and adjust your face the way you need to adjust your face to be able to see. And I am a huge fan of a very good makeup mirror. Invest in a very good makeup mirror. They're actually not all that expensive. I think Costco has one of the best ones out there, to be honest, that I have found, because it has both sides. So you can see just a regular mirror and a very good magnified side. Will give you a lot more confidence. And also where you do your color with good lighting. So those makeup mirrors give you good lighting. And last but not least, another tip, you saw them do shimmer versus matte. Matte will create shape and shimmer will retract light or bounce light off, and it won't create so much shadow, right? Because the light's bouncing off in all different directions. So not that you can't use a shimmer in your crease or where you're trying to create more of a kind of a pushback into your eye. You just want to make sure that you're using something that is deep enough and also has enough matte to it that you're going to create what you're going for when it comes to the difference between mattes and shimmers. Also, I get asked this all the time. I'm a woman of a more interesting age. I am told that I'm not supposed to wear sparkles. Sparkles, I'm not a fan of sparkles on women of a more interesting age. Shimmer, yes, absolutely. You can see I have shimmer right in this part of my eye right here. Now, if you saw me in without my light and off a screen, my color is pretty deep, because and keep that in mind for those of you that are doing Zoom calls and things like that, that often that you'll get a little washed out. especially like this, my screen is very white all around the edges. And so that can wash a face out a little bit. So depending on what your screen looks like. So just be aware of those things when you're wanting to look a little nicer on a Zoom meeting or some sort of a meeting that you're doing on your computer or your screen. Then just recognize that a little extra liner, maybe a little extra depth in that crease will make a difference. Okay, so shimmer versus matte, yes, you can wear them. Just where you wear them, and that's where your beauty consultant will help you, depending on your eye shape also, and so forth. So let's see, am I doing anything, any other little tips I want to share? I think I got everything. Just that blending balance is really important. So let's go into eyeliners. Okay, should we do the video first, Michaela, or should we have the girls do their liner? What do you think? I'll talk about the liner.
All right, get in real close. Let me show you a tip. You're going to take your eye, especially those of you that have lashes like mine that are very thin. I'm going to get in real close so you guys can see. Very thin and very fine. And do you see how I have that black literally right in those lashes? See how I'm right in those lashes? All the way across. So I'm just lifting so I can get right in there. You don't want to get under there and just fill that all in because it's going to get in your eyes. So you can tell that already gives a deeper lash look, a thicker lash look. Oh, which reminds me, curl your lashes first. Then what you can do is you can go back in with your brown across the top where I did the black and just above it. Now you see how I'm giving my eye just a very gentle. So right across that top, and I'm filling in where black meets the brown. You want to really make sure that they blend together, okay? So now you can see I gave this little bit of a wing out there. The best way I've found to do that is you're gonna cut the corner from the inside here. I'm gonna cut that corner. I need to give that a nice soft touch. You see I'm not pulling and tugging on my eye. See how I cut that corner? I'm gonna go from the outside corner and I'm gonna bring that up and I'm gonna meet that outside point. So I cut the corner of my eye, almost like a little piece of pie right out there, isn't it? Right in like that. Little tool. And I'm going to go back in and just kind of clean that up a little bit. I smudge my edge just a little bit. Dip into a color that matches your liner. Go right over the top of that line, that pencil with your powder, and that will really set that liner. Now, this is a waterproof liner. However, it's not oil proof. So sometimes our eyes get oily. So just take that right over the top, your powder, and that just sets that liner. You can pull it underneath if you want to. Okay, so that's one of my very favorite tips for those of us that have fair lashes, thin lashes, wimpy lashes, clear lashes, whatever you want to call them. That's what I have. So being able to get right in those lashes. Now tonight, you guys, I put, just to have something different, I did brown on the top with the black in my lashes. Tonight I did the Steely. We also, which is a very dark gray. And then we also have a blue liner. So those are our 4 liners that we have. So lots of fun with those. And you heard Diane talk about that. She's going to give us a really cool demo with some color. And I wanted to say something about those liners, waterproof liners. The softness of our waterproof liners are exceptional. Like seriously, I used to agonize over eyeliner and I don't anymore because of these eyeliners. I love them. And did y'all notice how I held my eye, but I didn't yank it all the way out? For those of you at a more interesting age, you can give it a little hold and that will hold your skin. That will help. So little tips like that I think are super helpful. So let's jump in, you guys. Let's see what these girls have that they're going to share with us tonight, because we have some different, one of the pieces of content you saw if you're on any of the Facebook groups or if you can ask your consultant to show you that graphic that Michaela pulled up a little while ago. There's lots of different ways to do eyeliner. See all the different ways. And oh yeah, and they're not wings anymore. They're now called flicks. I misspoke.
pardon me, it's hard to stay up on everything. So let's start with Linny. Because we're talking flicks, let's do double flicking. So Linny's going to do a double flick because she's just kind of a double gal. So check that out, you guys. She's literally has 2 little flick cutesies. Like, I love this look. I wish I could do this. This is not for Stephanie, but it is a super cute look on you, Linny. So walk us through it, friend.
All right. So I've got our liquid eyeliner. I love this pen because I'm an eyeliner girl, and it has a felt tip to it. So it is very kind of, it's like bendy, and it puts a nice tight line,
that.
or you can press a little bit harder and get more of a thick line. So it creates that flick or wing or whatever you're going for. It is so easy to kind of work with once you get the hang of it. I always say that liquid eyeliner is an advanced eyeliner technique. It is something that takes practice. And so the first thing that I do when I apply my liquid eyeliner is I have to have the right face shape. So like Stephanie was saying, I don't ever pull on my skin here. And so I always have kind of a handheld mirror, and I try to hold it down so that I'm looking down into it and I can see my whole canvas here. And what I do is, it's called surprise eyes, surprise eyebrows, and I raise those brows because it takes that skin, it makes it nice and taut so that I can make my fine line. So I just start on the inner corner first, and I meet in the middle of the eye here. I first start on the inner corner, and then I go to the outer corner. Can't talk really well while I'm doing it, so I'm going to show you. So to get that nice tight line, I almost have this flush with my eye. I'm not coming at it straight on. I'm coming at it sideways and using the side of this felt pen to pick up that color. I know it might be a little bit hard for you to see because I'm trying to look in my mirror too. And then once I get to the middle, I go the other way. Very important. Anchor your pinky to your cheek so that you're not just out here kind of floating around. So.
Girl, I'm like spellbound. Is anybody else
There's my first flick.
It's beautiful, my friend. That's not easy, you guys. This takes practice.
And then if you just want to add a second flick, you're going to take, and here's the thing. See how that second flick on this side kind of lifts that eye a little bit more? It goes from just kind of a line over here to it's got a little bit of a happier versus an upturn versus a downturn, which I can tend to kind of have. And so you're going to want to place that angle kind of where you're going upward, right? Almost like Stephanie's where she cut that corner. I'm just coming at it from a different angle. This is just geometry. There's my second flick.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, where'd she go? Sorry, that might have been me that clicked. I was like so excited. I may have clicked a button. Look at that, you guys. How fun is that?
The thing I love about it is that I don't have robust eyelashes, so it almost gives the illusion of a really thick like lash on the end there.
Yeah, it's almost like one of those little extensions that you add to the outside corners, a few extensions to the outside corners. Linny, it's so pretty. So pretty. What lip color do you have on? I've been wanting to ask you all night, and I might not be the only one.
It's the new black cherry. I love
Oh,
it.
that's so funny. Did somebody ask you that?
Yes.
I just saw it down there. I'm like, somebody else asked too. The new black cherry. Oh, you guys, that is rich. So pretty. So pretty. All right. Thank you, Lenny, for sharing those. The eyeliner pen is a really fun, and it's waterproof. Just FYI for those of us that cry a lot and all the things. All right, let's do some glam. Diane's gonna glam it up here. Okay, you're muted. Unmute.
Okay, so I'm going to take this fun limited edition green, what is this one called? Walk in the Woods liquid eyeshadow, and I'm going to use it for my liner. Okay, so one thing about my eyes,
Wait, I'm cracking up. I love that you called it a walk in the woods.
Is that what it's called?
It's called in the trees. But when you're walking in the woods, I love that. But when you're walking in the woods, you are in the trees. I mean,
That's
I'm just,
right. That's funny.
saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm okay. Sorry. Keep going.
So anyways, so I have hooded eyes, right? But I also have the downturned. So basically, if you were to see me without any makeup on, I have what's called the bedroom eyes. So I kind of, and not in the sexy way, in like you're so tired you need to go back to bed kind of way. So what I have to do with my eyes is I have to create them to be open. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to put it on my liner here, and I have a little tray that I put some extra on so I can re-dip when I need to. Okay. And I'm going to start with my bottom lash, and I don't do my bottom lid all the time because it can sometimes drag you down, but when you're doing glam, you want to do it all. So I'm going to start, move this side, just really lightly. It is very hard to talk while you're putting liner on. Okay, so
I'm sticking myself in here. Sorry.
Yes, the biggest trick on my eyes, because I do have those downturned eyes, is that I follow the bottom line up. Okay, so I follow my bottom lid up like this, and then I'm going to create my triangle, which creates then a lift. Now I have a little bit of black in there to make my eyelashes look thicker, and then I'm just going to bring it across. And because this is cream, you can go over it as many times as you need to and make it thicker. You can have tools, but see, then I just kind of come in here and then voila, gonna fix a little bit in here, but see how much more open
that, Diane. Oh my gosh. Like seriously, you guys. Okay, so a couple things I noticed, and I'm sorry I kept going in and out. I wanted to pop in and say, but then I made her too small and you couldn't see her very good. But a couple things I wanted to say. Do you guys notice how close she was to her lashes? So super important when you're doing eyeliner. That's why I was in my video too, where it was like, I'm in my lashes. You got to make sure that you don't have, if you're doing like 2 liners or if you're doing just one, you can't have any skin, like where your lashes are. It's got to be, the liner has to be right up next to those lashes or in them. And the reason is because if you have skin showing between that line and your lashes, it's going to pop off your face, right? It's going to look puffy. It's going to make your eyes look like you cried all night. You will have, I cried myself to sleep in my bedroom eyes is what you're going to have. And you're not going to have bedroom eyes like sexy bedroom eyes like now Diane has. Like she's going to go downstairs and her husband's going to be like, well, what's happening, baby? All right. Yes, you should do this more often. Do this online tutorial thing more often. If you come downstairs looking like that, right? So I love it. It's beautiful, Diane. And Diane can really pull off, if you're comfortable, here's the deal. If you're comfortable with color, the color will look great on you. Now, within reason, right? However, if you're like, I just love color, go for it, you guys. There's so few, like there used to be so many rules about color and everything when I first started my business, and there's less now. And really, I mean, it really, like I said, anything goes. I was down at an art show downtown Seattle a couple weekends ago, and I saw everything, and it was fun. I mean, I saw a gal that had white, literally white eyeliner all the way around her eyes, all the way around. She was young. It looked great on her. Can you imagine that would not work on this girl? But there's just so many like really fun options that are out there for you. And so just play. But this brings us all the way back to the beginning to remember that practice is what's going to build your confidence. So we hope that you learned lots tonight. We have just a little bit more to go. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm just looking at my notes here real quick. We have a little bit more that we want to share with you. Some really cool tips and an announcement of our next event. But I'm going to bring Michaela back in to just really quick kind of wrap up with mascara, just some tips on mascara and kind of a mascara wardrobe and brows. You guys, super important. If you're going to do your eyes, you got to do your brows. Take it away, Michaela.
Oh yeah. So they're kind of like, we've just finished this painting, this beautiful artist tapestry. And so now we're going to frame it. And so we're going to frame it with our lashes and with our brows. So first with our lashes, Mary Kay has a whole wardrobe of different mascaras that do different things. And one of my favorite things to do is layer. That's my first tip for you, is layer your mascara. You don't have to be confined to one choice. You can get the length from one. You can then zhuzh it up it with some, intensity and some volume. My go-to is our lash intensity because I have blonde wimpy lashes, so I need that extra voomp. And then I follow it up with a waterproof mascara because when I smile with my whole face, including my eyes. And so I tend to get all squishy in my eyes, and ending with the waterproof mascara is what keeps it in place so that I don't end up with raccoon eyes. And you might be wondering, as I avoided waterproof mascara for a long time, is like, that's great, but how do I get it off at the end of the day? We're going to tell you about that in a minute. Okay, so hold on to that thought. So that's mascara. And then my favorite thing I've learned lately is how to do my brows, because I was always a little scared to do my brows. I didn't want to end up looking like I had these big bushy caterpillars on my face. But when you learn to do it correctly, it frames your face so beautifully. So I want to share, there's a whole range, just like we have a wardrobe of mascara, we have a wardrobe of brow products. And so these are just some different ways that you can accentuate your brows and really use them to, frame your face. So you can just shape them. Maybe you were blessed with beautiful brows, and so you can just kind of shape them into place. You can use a pencil if you like to really get in there and define them really tightly and have that real laminated sharp look. We've also got our great brow tint, which is just going to add a little bit of color. You can also just use a clear, tint. It's not tinted. It's like a clear gel. There's the word. A clear gel. And then you always want to finish up with some concealer. But those aren't the only ways, because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a pretty unique hair color, which means my brows are pretty unique. And so I actually use eyeshadow on my brows. I found that's what matches my hair color the most closely. And I know that there are other gals on here that, whether it's you need something a little more ashy or you need something that's a little bit warmer brown, whatever it is, you can get creative, because our goal is for brows to not be noticed because they're so natural, right? It's a bad thing if somebody starts looking at your brows instead of your gorgeous eyeshadow that you just worked on. So that's my tips, is if you are looking to, take your look from every day, that one step can be your mascara and your brows. Like if I'm okay, I just want to look like I put myself together today. I start with adding some extra mascara layers, curling my lashes, and adding some brows. And I find that makes you look a little bit more put together without looking like, oh, you did your makeup today. So mascara and brows. Now, we've given you a lot of techniques today, right? We've lots of tips thrown your way. And I can see in the comments we've got questions about like, okay, but what about, my eye shape or my eye color, my tone and hair color. And so, Stephanie, we're actually going to be talking about this in our next workshop, aren't we?
I am so jazzed to bring this to you. I've been thinking about this all summer, but I knew that summer wasn't the time to do this next workshop that we have planned for you. So we have a workshop planned for you. How many of you, tell me in the comments, how many of you are like, I have been seeing all over the place this seasons thing. Winter, spring, summer, fall, dark winter, deep winter, blah, 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 all the different things. How many of you have been seeing that and wondering, well, what am I? Or maybe some of you know your season. Like, okay, these are the color categories that really look the best on me and I feel good in them, right? That's the important part is that, again, remember, you get to make the choices and what you feel good in and what you feel confident in, you're going to pull that off. So we are going to bring to you on October 8th, same time, 7:15 Pacific, 9:15 Central. We are going to bring an event called, I forget the full, I want to say it right, Hues and You. Ability. This is going to give you the ability to understand what color look best on you, what lip shade, cheek color, eye colors. We're going to help you build a look that is right for you, build a wardrobe that is right for you that you can then work from with confidence. Now, some of you might be going, I want to know this now. Like, I don't want to wait till October 8th. You don't have to wait till October 8th. Your consultant has the tools to be able to help you with this right now. So know that you can absolutely join us on October 8th. But between now and October 8th, there's a lot of time, and that you can get with your consultant however you want to do that. If you want to get with her over a Zoom, if you're not geographically close, if you want to connect live and visit her, or she's going to visit you, however you guys work that out, we get to do that. This is what we get to do, and we love this part of our jobs, is to be able to help you get what you want out of the colors that are right for you. So if you really struggle with that, talk to your consultant, and we're going to have some fun freebies for you. We're going to have a lot of like real practical ways that you can apply this to your not only just the colors. We're not going to talk too much about wardrobe colors because that's not our specialty. So we're not going to drape or anything like that. But what we'll do is that once your season is figured out, we will be able to say, okay, these are the shades that are just right for you. So how many are you excited about that? So it's not just like we talked about how for your special look and your special events, it's not just going darker. Like, don't just go darker eye colors or lips, or don't just go darker. That's not necessarily the thing that makes you have that special look. But when your colors are enhanced by the colors that naturally look great on you, that your palette matches that, girls, you're gonna just feel like an expert when you're done. So all right, I'm gonna let Michaela wrap it up for us. And I want to just give a really quick thank you to Lenny and Diane for being our awesome models with us tonight. You look so beautiful. It's so fun. You guys, thank you so much. You're so good at what you do and such gorgeous models. Thank you.
Yes, you guys, so much fun to see all the different ways that we can do our makeup. All right, so maybe you're watching and you're like, you know what, I could use some new makeup. I could, take this to the next level, or you want to grab those limited edition liquid eyeshadows before it's too late. Either way, that's one of our other favorite things to do, is to get our clients deals. So we do have some steals and deals, but they won't last long. So make sure that you talk to your consultant. So we talked a little bit earlier about the problem of like waterproof mascara staying on for days, or even just being able to take off your makeup, because that's so important, you guys. I hope every night you're taking off your makeup. And we want to help with that. So our deal for tonight is our oil-free eye makeup remover. This stuff is legendary, absolutely legendary. And so depending on how many new Mary Kay products you add to your bathroom, that is your deal. So when you purchase $35 tonight, you get a free deluxe mini. These are great for traveling, I like to keep them around the house because there are also lots of other hacks and tips for this makeup remover. But when you go up to $50 and you purchase $50, you get 50% off a full size. And so you're going to save $10. And this full size is going to last you, depending on how much eye makeup you're wearing, it'll last you about 3 to 4 months. So it's really a steal. It's going to last you for a while. And then if you're like, I need a whole new look, then when you purchase $100, you get a free oil-free eye makeup remover. So this is a great way to make sure that you know how to put on your eye makeup, and then that you also have the tools to take it back off, because that is one of the keys to keeping our eyes looking young and fresh, is not sleeping in our makeup. So make sure that you talk to your consultant and you get your look into her, and she will add one of those oil-free eye makeup removers to your order, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Is there anything else, Stephanie, before we say goodnight?
I was just looking at the pictures just to make sure that we did remember everything. I wanted to point out, I think I forgot to mention this when we were talking about the hues for you next workshop that we have. Your consultant does have a quiz. If you haven't seen it, if you're not on a Facebook group, or you haven't seen in your feed somewhere that your consultant has shared with you, a really great quiz that will help you narrow down your season. And if you need a little bit more help with that, of course, you can totally have your consultant help you with that. And consultants, don't worry, we have everything that you need. If some of you are watching this and going, I didn't know that this was yeah, it's all right, we got you. So this is going to be something that will really make a difference for you and really build your confidence. So I'm going to bring in Linny and Diane so we can all say good night to you and thank you from all over the nation. It was really fun to scroll through the comments really quick from all the different places that we're streaming, that we really do have every one of the time zones in the nation covered, and it's really fun to be able to do that. So if you're watching on a replay, make sure you comment that you're watching on the replay so we can say hello, and we'll be watching the comments too. So thanks to my hostess, Michaela, and Linny and Diane for being beautiful models for us tonight. We would love to hear from you. Tell us what you love the most. Please guess what you learned. What was your thing? Good night, Judy. Thank you, Katie. Thanks, Christine, both our Christines that are on that I see in here. So thanks so much for watching. If there's something that you just were like, oh, I learned, this was like key to me, we would love to hear, because this is how we then take what we've learned to be able to bring it into the future. So if there's something also that you're like, Stephanie, I really want to learn blank, whatever it is that you want to learn, put it in the comments and we'll see if we can get a workshop together and make that happen for you. All right. And of course, you have your beauty consultant. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.